Hi everyone once again, and welcome to the $1 million chance of a lifetime. Thanks for guarding that money again, Sleazy and Les Suar. We'll see you guys later. Well, all of you know that on our last show, we had a couple who just stopped a two-time returning couple from winning $1 million. But on this show, this couple is returning now for their second date to $1 million. So here they are right now facing a new couple. First, our champions coming back for their second step. They're both from the Killer Bass, Duncan and Courtney. And their opponents. He's from Total Drama World Tour, and she's from the Screaming Gophers, Alejandro and Heather. Here are the champions, Duncan and Courtney, and the challengers, Alejandro and Heather, for this show. So, Duncan and Courtney, because you successfully stopped Justin and Eva from getting the million and winning the bonus round with 2 seconds left on our last show, are you ready to take your second step right now and be 1 day away from $1 million? Yeah, and I am so jazzed and ready for you to do that too. Even you two really wanted to go and win the million. And Alejandro and Heather, you really need to stop them today, right? Yeah, and you know you must beat Duncan and Courtney and 2 more couples to have an open shot for the million. Before we start the game, I'd like to ask Duncan and Heather about the challenge of the remaining 7 stars that must catch a wild animal throughout the island. You know, along with Owen, Jeff, Lashana, Gwen, and Izzy. Got it. So Duncan, after you successfully caught a raccoon, you tried to help Heather catch a bear. Yes, we know, and you were laughing your head off while you were in the confession can. Anyway, that was most fun that you ever had on the show. And Heather, since you've lost the challenge, Chris demanded you to clean the camp's bathroom, but you told Duncan to do it. Yeah, we all know you told him just to teach him that lesson. However, if Chris would have not thought about you cleaning the bathroom, he would have just eliminated you from the show. But it was learned, and everything from that is a-okay. However, all you have to do is win the $1 million bonus round 3 days in a row, and you will be joining the other couples who just won $1 million. Now, because Duncan and Courtney are now on their second step, let's see if they can win so they can be 1 single step away from the whole lot. So who's going to start for your team? Okay, it's going to be Duncan. And who's going to be for your team? It's going to be Alejandro. So it's the boys, Duncan and Alejandro, in round 1. The girls will take the seat, but they cannot help their partners. Okay, let's get started now. You all know you have to solve a word puzzle on the giant screen. So let's look at the first puzzle right now without the letters. It has 2 words, and you have to solve some clues to help you solve the puzzle and earn you some money. Here's the first $250 clue. It has 8 letters, and here we go. B N A L N O. Alejandro. Yes, nobleman is the first clue. You've got $250 and the first guess at the puzzle. But let's look at the keyboard first, guys. These letters remain lit are the ones in play for our first puzzle, except one of them that you know that doesn't go there, and that is the infamous stinger. You guys know that if you hit it, you'll lose your turn, even though you don't know what it is. Okay, Alejandro, you may come up to the board now and hit your first letter, please, and let's fill in this puzzle. You've got an E and another $500 in the puzzle bank. Hit your second letter. And only one A, and there's $750 in the puzzle bank. Your first clue is nobleman. Can you solve the puzzle now, Alejandro? Okay, because you can't solve it now, then we'll go on to our second clue. It has 7 letters, and go. I, T, H, R, S, B. Duncan. Right, British, just like some of my friends who took over Toad Hall in England. So you have your first clue, $250, and your first guess of puzzle, Duncan. So hit your first letter on the board, and you know the stinger's there. Hit a good one. One R and $1,000 in the puzzle bank. Hit your second letter. One P and 2 P's. $1,500 in the puzzle bank, and your 2 clues are nobleman and British. Can you solve the puzzle now, Duncan? Alright then, we'll go on to our third clue. It has 2 words, 3 and 5, and go. A, G, S, L, V. Duncan? Yeah, Duncan, Las Vegas. You have another chance at the puzzle and pick 2 more letters. Let's hope you pick the right ones this time. There's your D, and 2, and 3. Great letter, Duncan. There's $2,250 in the puzzle bank. Pick your second letter. And there's your C, and you didn't pick the stinger this time. $2,500 in the bank, and the 3 clues are nobleman, British, and Las Vegas. Solve the puzzle, Duncan. Right, Duncan, David Copperfield. So the scores after round 1 are Duncan and Courtney with $3,000 and Alejandro and Heather with $250. So we're going to round 2 next. The clues and letters are doubled to $500, and the teams change players, which means Courtney and Heather are going to play them. We'll be right back after this break with round 2, everyone. So don't go away. Welcome back to our show, and we're going to round 2, where every clue and the letter of this puzzle are worth $500 each, and also the players are now the girls, Courtney and Heather. So let's see what will happen afterwards. Here comes the second puzzle now. It has 2 words again, and here's the first $500 clue. It's a long one. It has 11 letters, and go. U, N, L, A, N, T, I, F. Courtney? Yeah, influential is right, Courtney. So you have $500 for that, but we must look at the keyboard first, girls. The letters you see there are in play for this puzzle, and one of them that you know is the dreaded stinger. Here it is, folks. Your girls know if you hit it, you'll lose your turn. Alright, Courtney, you can come up, please, and hit your first letter now. One safe X, and I'm glad it's not the stinger this time. Hit your second letter, Courtney. One E and two E's. Very good start, Courtney. $1,500 in the bank, and your first clue is influential. Solve the puzzle, Courtney. Okay, we'll keep on going and show our second clue. It's another long one. It has 10 letters and go. R, L, E, T, S, F, D, Courtney. Federalist is right, Courtney. You have another chance at the board, Courtney. Look at these lit letters there because you know the stinger's still alive. Hit a good one. There's an N and two N's, and there's $2,500 in the bank. Hit your second letter. One L and another L, and $3,500 in the puzzle bank. Your two clues are influential and federalist. Can you solve the puzzle, Courtney? Alright, so we're going to our third clue. It has 8 letters and go. S, U, T, A, R. Heather? Could be Heather, but not exactly. So you have an open shot, Courtney, but we have to leave the last space blank. Here we go. Y, R. Right, treasury, not treasure. I know you should have waited for that Y, Heather, but you buzzed in too soon. So, you have the board again, Courtney, and hit your first letter now. One A, two A's, and three A's. $5,000 in the puzzle bank. Hit your second letter, Courtney. And there's your H. Your three clues are influential, federalist, and treasury for $5,500, Courtney. Solve the puzzle now. Right, Courtney. And with the $5,500 you've just won, the scores are Duncan and Courtney with $10,000 and Alejandro and Heather with $250. Because you're not dead yet, because you're still in the game. We're going to round 3 next, where everything's double again to $1,000. And most of all, you have to decide who's going to play. Who wants to play for your team? Duncan's going to play. And what about you? Heather's going to play too. So it's Duncan against Heather in round 3, and we'll find out who's going to win after we come back. Welcome back to the show again, and we're doing round 3 right now. We now have Duncan and Heather who are playing here, and mostly everyone, the clues and the letters are $1,000 each, so anything can change after this. Here's the third puzzle now. It's a huge one because it's got 4 words this time. Here's the first $1,000 clue, and it's got 6 letters. And here we go. N, U, A, L. Heather? Right, annual is the first clue, Heather, and $1,000 for you. Now let's look at the keyboard, everyone. Most of these letters there, stayed lit, are the only ones in play for this puzzle, including the star. There's a punctuation mark in there, and don't forget to avoid the stinger. So here it is again, everyone. Okay, Heather, whenever you're ready, come up Pick your first letter, please, and start filling in this huge puzzle. One N and two N's. Good start, Heather. $2,000 in the bank. Hit your second letter. One G and two G's. Your first clue is annual, but we have $4,000 in the puzzle bank. That's not enough for you and Alejandro to catch up here, but can you solve the puzzle now? Okay, it's good if you just passed it, or else you wouldn't win anyway. The next clue has two words, 3 and 6, and go. Number 5, U, N, T, A, V. Heather. Yeah, 5th Avenue. That's why there's a 5 for this clue. So because you've got it, you have another chance to choose 2 more letters and to solve the puzzle. You know the stinger's still there, and hit a good one now, Heather. One T, and no stinger yet. $5,000 in the puzzle bank. Hit your second letter. One S, and 2. There's $7,000 in the puzzle bank, and it's still not enough for you to win. But can you solve the puzzle with the 2 clues, annual and 5th Avenue, or will you pass it again? Well, thanks for taking my advice again, even it's a freebie for you. So next clue, please. It has 6 letters, and here we go again. O, T, S, F, L. Duncan? That's right. Floats is your first clue, Duncan, and your first guess at the puzzle. Hit your first letter, and you know that the stinger is there, so hit a good letter. One D and another $9,000 in the puzzle bank. Hit your second letter, Duncan. One A, 2, 3, 4, and 5 A's. You built the puzzle bank up to $14,000, Duncan. The 3 clues are annual, 5th Avenue, and float. Now, if you solve the puzzle now, you and Courtney will win the game. Can you do it? Oh, time's up, Duncan, and Heather's still alive. The 4th clue has 8 letters, and go. L, O, S, O, N, B. Duncan. Balloons, right. You have the board again, Duncan. Hit your first letter, please. There's a Y. And 2 of them. The puzzle bank's up to $16,000, Duncan. Hit your second letter. And there's your P. Let's see if that could give you a big help to solve the puzzle. The puzzle bank's now at $17,000, and the 4 clues are annual, 5th Avenue, floats, and balloons. Solve the puzzle, Duncan. Oh! Well, I'm so surprised none of you 2 can solve it yet. Let's go to the $5,000 clue. It also has 2 words, 3 and 4, and go. R, W, K, Y, N. Duncan. New York, right. As in New York City, Duncan. You have the board again and hit a letter now. There's an M, and you avoid the stinger. $18,000 in the puzzle bank. Hit your second letter. And there's your C, and you might know what the first word is. The puzzle bank's now at $19,000, and the 5 clues are annual, Fifth Avenue, floats, balloons, and New York. Can you solve the puzzle to win the game, Duncan? Right, Duncan, and you and Courtney have won it! Well, because the Macy's annual Thanksgiving Day Parade is always in New York City, marching down on Fifth Avenue, the last clue is November, all because you know Thanksgiving is always on November here in America. Well, I'm sorry, Alejandro and Heather, that you can't beat Duncan and Courtney this time because they are great players, but you've earned $2,022.50, and you now have a new grand total of $27,750. We'll see you again on your next appearance. So, Duncan and Courtney, you won your second game and $32,000. You two now have a new grand total of $78,000. We'll take another break right now, and after that, they will play the $1 million bonus round for their second step. But can they do it and be one step away from the million? We'll see what's going to happen after we come back, folks. Stay tuned as Duncan and Courtney take their second step towards our richest prize, $1 million. Welcome back to the $1 million chance of a lifetime. Duncan and Courtney have just won their second game, and they are now going to take their second step towards $1 million. You both know what the prizes that our $1 million prize comes with: cars, furniture, trips, money, and so on. I know you wanted us to get on with it, but George Gray is going to tell you some of them. George? Right, Disco. You and your families can win 2 brand new cars. This 2023 Lexus RX luxury crossover and this 2023 Chevrolet Silverado, both equipped with Bluetooth, Sirius XM satellite radio, GPS navigational system, and free California ignition. But that's not all. They'll also win this kitchen island, and this dining room set from Frigidaire and Ashley Furniture, including kitchen appliances from Cuisinart, Panasonic, Whirlpool, and more. Plus many more fabulous prizes. Good luck, Duncan and Courtney. Back to you, Disco. Thanks, George. Now, before we go to the bonus round, I was thinking about why you didn't want to choose horror movie villains on our last show, Courtney. All because of Duncan's hook, right? I know it wasn't funny, but Heather knew it wasn't either, because she thought he was the escaped psycho killer with a chainsaw and a hook. Well, Duncan, in Courtney and Heather's opinion, it wasn't a joke. Even some of my weasel friends were laughing their heads off along with you. Well, that was then, this is now. Now it's time to do the bonus round, and you two know how to do it. We'll show you 3 categories on the screen, and you choose only one that you both know best. Then you have to identify 6 items that are associated to your category. We'll pop in 1 letter at a time, except for the last one. If you know what the item is, just call it out. We'll fill in the rest and advance to the next item. If you two answer all 6 of the items in 60 seconds or less, you will finish your second day to $1 million. With that taken care of, it's time to choose which category you both know the best. They are state birds. Those are wild birds that are state birds here in America. Showbiz dogs. There are fictional dogs on TV and in the movies. And The Price is Right. Those are games that are played in America's game show, The Price is Right. Which one do you think will help you two be one step away from $1 million? You may talk them over right now. Okay, I see you've made your choice. What'll it be? Showbiz dogs. Alright. You have to guess 6 TV and movie dogs in 60 seconds. Because Duncan knows about guard dogs at Juvie, let's see, that could be easy for you to complete your second day. Okay, Lassuer, please bring Duncan and Courtney into the isolation booth right away. Well, Frenchmen like him can be very nice, even they're from Paris. Alright, Duncan and Courtney, it's time to take your second step towards $1 million, and your category is Showbiz Dogs, and you have 60 seconds to get them all. But don't wait for too many letters or else you probably won't make it. Okay, we now have 60 seconds on the clock and the first item ready, but don't answer until I say go, even if you two might know what it is, okay? Okay. Ready, set, go! Lassie is 1. Next. L. C. S. K. E. R. That's 2. Next. Y. E. W. F. R. 3. Next. I. D. E. That's 4. 3 words. I. N. 5. One more. O. N. E. T. V. B. That's it. You did it for day 2. Great job, Duncan and Courtney. You've got all 6 of the Showbiz dogs with 18 seconds left. Yeah, Courtney, you knew the first item was Lassie all along, even after I told you to wait until I said go. Well, besides you knew about Rin Tin Tin, Reckless is from the Waltons, Freeway is from Heart to Heart, Eddie's from Frasier, and you know Beethoven is a St. Bernard who is the star of his own movies. So, for winning on your second day, Sleazy is giving you a cash prize you might take home or not. This case that he's holding now has $50,000 in cash. Okay, Duncan's going to hold it for now. Now listen up, because I'm going to ask you two to make a very simple decision that might be your last. If you want to trade it in to play on our next show, you have to defeat another couple, and the categories might be a little harder then. So here's your final decision, you two. Would you like to take the $50,000 case home and leave her undefeated with $128,000, or give it back to us and play for your third and final step for $1 million? Now remember, if you two win the million, you're done and you'll never come back here again. So I'll give you two some time to discuss this. Okay, Duncan and Courtney, what is your final choice? You're going to play on and go for the million. Okay, just give the $50,000 case back to Sleazy, and we'll see you two again on our next show and try to win $1 million then. Okay, you're welcome. Goodbye. Well, that's it for this show, everybody. And on the next one, Duncan and Courtney will have a chance to go on and win $1 million. We'll see if they can do it so they can be out and done. This is me, Disco Weasel 1977, and my friends here, Sleazy and Lacey War, saying goodbye and thank you for watching the $1 million chance of a lifetime. Bye-bye, folks. The members of the studio audience of our show will receive a 3-year supply of popcorners. Popcorners, breaking to something good. free gift certificates from their participating Wendy's restaurants. Wendy's, now that's better. Free tickets to go see Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, from Marvel Studios rated PG-13.